know. We just fell in love like sometime. That's it. That's many years ago. It's just it. It's okay. I'd like him to offer short reflection before we eat, because you're not on the program. So we put you on the program. But I also want to ask that you acknowledge our chef in the back, Muhammad Idrisi. And I want to invite you all back during Ramadan for dinner. And Kaleidoscope will have a special iftar with us one night in Ramadan. We feed about 1,000 people a night. And the man there with the white hat on, Idrisi, he's the main one in that kitchen, prepared while fasting for 1,000 people every night. Some of them here, and some we send out to families who are shut in, can't get out, who are needy. So with that, I'm going to ask Rabbi Jerry if you would give us a reflection on before we have our meal. Thanks. Some people would call it grace, but I don't know if that really works. I don't know if that works in the Jewish tradition, grace.
We'll give up barakah. Barakah. Yeah. That's right. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's wonderful to be here for the first time. I'm sorry that it's the first time, and I hope it's the first time of many. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be asked to speak, even though I wasn't expecting to.
He's the executive director of the InterFaith Conference of Metropolitan Washington. Yeah.
So let me just partly excuse myself and explain why I'm late. I was at a press conference at the National Press Club. Some of you, I'm sure, were invited to that same press conference, and I wanted to be there to express the support of the InterFaith Conference of Metropolitan Washington for ISNA and the Shoulder to Shoulder Coalition. They were celebrating the Marrakesh Declaration that was passed recently that talks about the rights of minority religions in majority Muslim societies, but they had a much more important or more timely message to convey. Cardinal McCarrick was there, the head of the National Council of Churches, many Jewish leaders, a Greek Orthodox priest, and they're calling on both political parties for their platforms to reflect, to include a statement opposing the bigotry and the hatred that's come out in the campaigns. So I thought it was important to be there for us to... And the point that was made, and Thomas Jefferson was quoted, and George Washington was quoted, that this is not an attack on the Muslim community. It's not an attack on the Jewish community. It's an attack on America. It's an attack on what America stands for. And that's why we were there standing shoulder to shoulder and will be there. And I think that's an important... I mean, the fact is the Republican Party is not those two individuals and their many followers. And let us hope that they, and the Democratic Party, will wake up and put language in their platforms that the delegates will have to vote on. It's not a partisan question, but we know who we're talking about. But that'll be what will come out of the political conventions, and we began working on it today, just this morning. So that's why I'm a little bit late, but I'm standing between you and lunch. In our tradition, before we have a grace after the meals, we have a bracha before the meal, which is a simple blessing. We call you blessed, our eternal God. You are the sovereign of the earth, the Lord of space and time. You help us bring forth bread from the earth. You enable the farmer to grow the crops, those who harvest it, whether they're farm workers, hopefully well paid, a living wage, the people who bring that bread or that grain to the market, the people who bake it and prepare it, all those people are included in the blessing. And with those folks in mind and their labor in mind, we thank God for the ability to share this meal together.